On the border of two worlds stretches the belt of death, a place where every step can be the last, and silence is broken only by sniper shots. The demilitarized zone between North Korea and South Korea is not a border. It is a labyrinth of traps from which no one returns alive. There are thousands of barbed wire fences, even more mines, and every move in the darkness can trigger an alarm and summon guards with rifles ready to fire. Escapees who try to cross this zone know that they risk not only their lives but also torture if they are caught. These are not attempts of desperates. This is a march through hell, where behind a single tree a shooter may be hiding, ready to kill without warning. Many of them head toward the rivers, Tumen and Yalu, which separate the land of terror from China, giving the illusion of a chance for freedom. These rivers have treacherous currents, slippery banks, and are patrolled day and night by armed soldiers with tracking dogs. A single misstep, a single splash of water too loud, and the end comes, often in silence, with a bullet to the head. Some swim across at night with a child tied to their chest, unable even to cry out in pain for fear of revealing their presence. If they manage to reach China, it is only the beginning. From the border to freedom lies a journey that lasts many months. They must travel hundreds of kilometers through mountains, forests, and cities, avoiding people, cameras, informants, and the Chinese police. The Chinese do not welcome fugitives. They treat them as criminals, not refugees, and mercilessly deport them back to a regime that knows no mercy. Upon returning to Korea, hell awaits them. Interrogations, beatings, prison, labor camps, sometimes public execution as a warning to others. Those who avoid deportation end up in smuggling networks, where freedom costs more than they can afford. Women are promised safety, but they end up as wives sold into villages, where they are imprisoned for the rest of their lives. They have no documents, cannot escape, do not speak the language. They are like ghosts, invisible, unnecessary, completely dependent on their oppressors. Their children from these unions are illegal. They do not exist for any state. They have no right to school, to a doctor, or even to a name. This is a generation without a face that will never understand what childhood is, because it was born of escape and must survive in escape. The North Korean regime does not forget. Even beyond the country's borders, it hunts down its citizens as if they were state property. It sends agents who pose as helpers, only to kidnap a defector and smuggle him back to Korea. The kidnapped vanish without a trace. One day they are in a Chinese city, and a few days later their face appears in a photo from a show trial. Escapees do not sleep peacefully even in other Asian countries. Their faces are watched, and their phones can be tracked. They have no one to trust. Embassies remain silent. International aid is too slow, and every mistake costs a life. The dream of freedom turns into paranoia. Every step is a risk. Every conversation may be the last. Every person a potential enemy. Escape from North Korea is not a journey. It is a fight against a system that prefers you dead rather than free, that prefers to destroy you rather than let you go. Escapees from North Korea live like animals. They hide in caves, in the snow, in barns, and their only companions are fear and hunger. Every night is a struggle with frost that penetrates to the bone. Every hour a question of whether they will live to see the next day or freeze in silence. They eat leaves, roots, sometimes raw meat, anything that will not kill them faster than a soldier with a rifle in the bushes. Their bodies lose strength, but they must keep moving. There is no turning back, for behind them lies hell, and ahead only an uncertain chance at life. Often the only way to salvation is smugglers, who for the equivalent of $15,000 promise passage to the free world. But trusting a smuggler is like playing Russian roulette. Some help, others sell fugitives to human traffickers or rob them naked. Some women are handed over to the mafia, which sells them like merchandise. They will never again learn what it means to be free. Others are left to their fate in the Chinese forests, where no help will come and no one will hear their screams. There were also escapes so desperate that they went down in history, like the one from 2017 when soldier Oh Chong-song fled through the DMZ. Under fire from his own comrades, he was shot 5 times, but he kept crawling, leaving behind a trail of blood on the road to freedom. When South Korean soldiers found him, he was on the brink of death. Only an immediate surgery saved his life. This escape showed the world the desperation of those who would rather die than live another day under the yoke of the North Korean regime. But even those who made it remained silent. They know that every spoken word could mean death for their loved ones back home. The regime has a long memory and far-reaching hands. Sometimes a defector's public confession is paid for by his family in the form of prison or execution. Many disappear without a trace, not at the border, not in China, but already along the way, killed by traffickers, frozen to death, lost, betrayed by companions. Their bodies vanish in the snow, rivers, or forests. No one knows their names. No one lights a candle. No one even knows they tried to escape. Some countries try to help. South Korea, Japan, or the United States offer asylum, treatment, sometimes a new beginning. But there are also those, like China, Laos, or Vietnam, which treat them as a problem and without hesitation send them back to hell, condemning them to death. Every deportation is like signing a sentence. There is no appeal, no explanation, only chains and the road to a concentration camp. Those who survived are given a chance to start a new life, but this life is different, because the shadow of the past follows them everywhere. They must learn everything anew: language, technology, shopping, freedom of speech, because all their life they knew only command and punishment. They do not know how to speak about emotions, they trust no one. Every loud siren brings them back to the fear of childhood. Even in free South Korea, they do not feel safe. They do not understand the system. They are often seen as different, as strangers. The trauma they carry within does not disappear. It returns at night in dreams, in fears, in moments when they see a uniform or hear a child scream. Some cannot endure and take their own lives because the freedom they fought for over the years could not heal the wounds of the soul. Those who live try to speak, to warn, to appeal. But the world rarely listens, because the truth about North Korea is too inconvenient. Behind every escape lies an ocean of suffering, desperation, and courage, and only a few reach the shore of this ocean alive.